you very much. Oh, come on. Look, I know. That's very nice of you. Simmer down. Good heavens. This audience deserves the best. So why don't... So we're going to put on a Monday night rerun right now for you. Boy, they calmed down quickly, didn't they? Was that one of General Haig's hand-me-downs? Boy, Captain. Was the band going military or what?
No, this is a bush jacket.
Oh, is that just... Ah. You're not going to trap me. Before we start something. Before we start, I would like to welcome a new sponsor to the Tonight Show, the First Alert Sanka Alarm. What it does, it goes off if Robert Young comes near your house while you're having your coffee in the morning. And you can get out the back door very quickly. He's a I ever tell you this? He is a mathematical whiz, not a quiz.
As a matter of fact, you did tell me that.
Almost got. What, is he coming? I'm sleeping right on. I haven't even got halfway through the monologue. You got to give him some of the stuff you use. You can't give him... What did I start to say?
What kind of a genius is your financial advisor?
He's a mathematical wizard, is what I wanted to say.
Wizard.
He doesn't even use a calculator. He has a pocket full of chicken McNuggets. And he makes it... No, but Bushkin has put me into some very wise investments. I have the rights, do you know this, to the Miss Universe pageant? Radio only. I have... And I've got the hockey franchise in Palm Springs. He got me into. And I'm the principal investor in the Prince Charles Riding Academy. So I've got a lot of things going. How many people have recently moved out here to California? Anybody know that? And you're moving back, too. Have you tried to go out and try to find a place to live? Is this ridiculous out here? Something in the last 5 years, I guess in many parts of the country, rents and housing have gone astronomically high, and people are desperate for anything for housing. Do you know that restaurant shaped like the hot dog called the tail of the pup?
Yeah.
It just went condo. Four people moved into the buns. It is, do you know what you get for $300,000 in Los Angeles?
What?
An avocado crate and stilts over the La Brea tar pits. It's $300,000. Rents are ridiculous, too. No, a guy went to a phone booth, called a real estate agent, and said, "What can I get for $500 a month?" And the agent says, "You're standing in it." That sheik moved out of that house there was an Arab sheik bought a house on Sunset Boulevard. I guess it's a tourist attraction now. And there was a fire or something in it. I guess it's empty and is available. What was the price of that? Do you remember? Something like $6 or $7 million. And it's a big house. As a matter of fact, the house is so big. Thank you very much. But if you're in the house and you want to call a bedroom, you have to dial 1 first. Yesterday, President Reagan was at West Point where he made a speech, and there was a picture again. He was hugging Jimmy Cagney. Because Jimmy Cagney, if you remember, made the West Point story. Now, remember, a week ago, the president was at Notre Dame, and he was hugging Pat O'Brien. Because Pat O'Brien had made Newt Rockney's story about Notre Dame. So that's Reagan, Cagney, and O'Brien. They're all with Warner Brothers. Did you ever notice that? They were all actors with Warner Brothers, and for some reason they seem to live long lives. And they did some research to find out there was a common link with Warner Brothers actors having such longevity, and they found out that all three of them had spent lots of time in Ann Sheridan's trailer. And that was the only common link that they could... How many if you remember Ann Sheridan. That could have been the problem there. Here's some, I forget sometimes how old we all are, and I'm mentioning Ann Sheridan. Ann Sheridan is not with us anymore, by the way. Oh, here's some more good news from the government. Tomorrow.
Some more good news?
What?
She's not with us, and then you say we have more good news?
It makes sense to me. I mean, you don't have to analyze this. This is not going into a computer and they have to turn it out. This is entertainment. All right. Next week, the new 9-digit zip code goes into effect. Now, does that thrill you? Now, they say the post office says that the new 9-digit zip code will accurately pinpoint the state, city, town, and street where your letter should have gone to. Actually, it's easy to remember my new 9-digit zip code. It's the same toll-free number you call to get that Slim Whitman album. Famous person just celebrated his 58th birthday. Did you read about it? Henry Kissinger. Yeah. Just occurred to me, what can you give a man who thinks he has everything? What?
A joke.
First I have sleeping trombone players, right? Then you try to analyze the joke, and then he has to come up with another one. Who else wants to take a shot? Here's some more business news. Two of the major banks have reduced their prime lending rate from 20.5% to 20%. Now, isn't that nice? That's terrific. Prime rate is now only 20%. That means you can run right out and get that triple bypass operation you wanted. Okay, here's some more news. How about some environmentalist news? How many of you people, there are a group of people who are really fanatics, who are known as survivalists. They think that nuclear war is coming. They have stores of water, food, ammunition stored away at home when they think the Holocaust is coming. Any of you do that at all? Nobody here? You wouldn't invent it.
Yeah.
In the paper today, there was a new product because it pointed out that nobody had thought about their pets. And this company came out with a new dog food called two words, Survival. And you can buy it for your dog. The pet food will keep for 20 years in a fallout shelter. Can you believe that? Of course, you don't know what fallout is until you've been locked in a bunker for 20 years with a St. Bernard. I'm talking fallout. Also, I understand you can buy a 20-year supply of dehydrated air wicks. Air wicks.
He's had a little problem here earlier. We're gonna start the show now.
We have Steve Lawrence and Maureen Murphy with us tonight, and thank you. After this. No, they're here, George. It's a G.
Well,
that would be
not a lady. Well, it could
be a gentleman.
Some ladies are named George. A couple of, yes, that's true.
Well, George Sands was a pseudonym, was it not, for a lady author? Am I wrong there? George Sand? Sure, yeah. Most of them are Georgia, though. They're not George. Yeah, you just want to argue, don't you?
No, I don't. Not at all.
I can sense it.
No, it's not at all.
Anyway, this is from George Frank.
Everything you say is not gospel truth. Somebody's got to be around here that just questioned you.
I say, all right, okay, that's fair enough.
All right.
Next week, she'll be appearing in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, at a club called The Jesters. Then she opens for a week with Tom Jones in Framingham, Massachusetts, on July 13th. She's a very amusing young lady. Would you welcome Maureen Murphy? Maureen?
much. I'm usually introduced as being from Australia, but I have to tell you I was born in England. That's why I was very excited about Prince Charles marrying Lady Diana. It seemed so perfect. And then I thought, he's called Prince, she's called Lady. What are they going to call their dog? She might say, here, Prince, and they'll both jump up on the bed. But, you know, to marry royalty, you have to be untouched. And to make sure, a team of doctors examine Lady Diana. Can you imagine on her wedding night, he'll find a little strip of paper around her tummy which says, sealed and sanitized for your protection? But my mother would always say, Lady Diana has the right idea. She'd say, a man won't buy the cow if he gets the milk free. So the first time I had a man stay over, in the morning when he had his cereal, I charged him 40 cents for the milk. But women here try so hard to be sexy for men. Like in the discos, they wear those real tight Calvin Klein jeans. You have to lie down on the floor to get them on or off. Every time I walked into the ladies' room, all the women looked like fish flopping on the deck. And they all worry about that little bit of cellulite that's gathered in the winter. Cellulite is cottage cheese on the thighs. But Helen Gurley Brown of Cosmopolitan says, if you have cottage cheese thighs, you can make them more attractive for your lover. Put a couple of peach halves next to them. But you can't have cellulite with those new swimsuits. They're cut right up to the armpits. You tan, you take them off, you have one white strip down your middle. Your body looks like an entrance to the freeway. And your man has to figure out which is the fast lane. You see, I was brought up to be ashamed of my body. We were told if we touched certain parts, we'd go blind. And when I came here, I could see that wasn't true. Because most baseball players have very good eyesight. It's the umpires that are blind. But I wasn't told anything. Growing up, I used to think birth control was giving birth slowly. And that mini pads were very small apartments. And we had a magazine called Ladies' Home Journal, and always had a picture of this gorgeous woman wearing a beautiful strapless satin gown, and underneath it just said, modesse. I thought that was a famous fashion designer. I tell my dates, I'm wearing a modesse. Mine is an original. And they take me right home. And then my mother would say if I didn't get married, I'd have to be a nun. And to be a nun, then you had to shave your head, wear no makeup, a long black gown, and sensible shoes, because a nun marries God. And when I asked why, my father said only God would marry someone that looked like that. I think the only person that could handle being married to God is Nancy Reagan. Because she's traditional, she fights for her territory. And when she moved into the White House, it was just like the movie Gone with the Wind. There was Rosalind, her eyes filled with tears, saying, I don't want to go back to Georgia. And there was Nancy saying, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. I love being in America. Women are independent. More and more women are joining the workforce. Some men don't like it. I heard one man say, for every job a woman takes, it just puts another illegal alien out of work. And I once got a job, and the boss told me to keep it, I'd have to think like a man. Well, I did, and I got fired. Because all day long, all I kept thinking was, I gotta get me a six-pack and nail me some chicks. A girlfriend who's a secretary. She had to do a lot for the boss. She had to fetch his coffee, fix his meals, run errands, do the washing up, then sleep with him. Then she had to go home to her husband, fetch his coffee, fix his meals, run errands. I said, sleep with him too. She said, no, he's got a secretary. That's why I love Dolly Parton in 9 to 5. When her boss chased her around the desk, she pulled a gun on him. She said, don't take another step. I'm warning you, I got a gun here and it's aimed below your belt. I'm gonna blow your brains out. I just wish men were more romantic, like they used to be. I like it when they bring a woman roses. My mother would say a rose is the perfect symbol of romance. It dies after a few days. Its pretty petals fall off, and all you're left with is the ugly, prickly thing. I've been trying to understand men by watching football. I noticed that they treat a football just like a woman. They hold onto it. They take it places. They never let it out of their sight. But the moment they score, they toss it aside. And then they go, they do this. I think the problem is every woman is looking for the perfect man. To me, the perfect man doesn't have chest hair on his back. The perfect man always leaves you with your morale up and the toilet seat down. The perfect man has a nice face, a good body. He's a doll. And can be deflated and put in a drawer when you're finished with him.
Very cogent comments there. We have to take a break. We'll be right back.